This is Offensive Seahawks fan back with another video, and today's my Week 15 NFL recap. Thursday and Saturday games are done, so let's start with whatever happened on Thursday. Chargers. The best thing that happened was you guys got Brandon Staley out finally. I don't get why it took until this game to get him out of that putrid team. He's putrid himself too, but whatever. I didn't really watch any of the first 4 games besides the Vikings-Bengals, so yeah. From the looks of the Easton Stick, I guess a good day in his first start. Did have some fumbling problems though, but what is this rushing? Who is Isaiah Spiller? Austin Ekeler is so confirmed now that he is absolutely washed. Josh Palmer, he found a way to be productive. Quentin Johnson actually did something with his life in the NFL. Yeah, 5 fumbles, 4 of them lost. Only Guyton picked up a fumble. Kendricks with 12 tackles and a sack. That's all. No interceptions. 3 points for Dicker. 5 punts for Scott. Aiden O'Connell and Jakobi Meyers, I guess, that threw some touchdowns. O'Connell, probably the best game of his career. Zamir White started for Josh Jacobs and did just okay. He did more than okay, but you know what I mean. Devontae Adams is finally having Devontae Adams stats. Trey Tucker, 2 touchdowns. I think those were his first 2 career touchdowns. Michael Mayer and Jakobi Meyers were touchdowns as well, and only fumble recoveries on the fumble list. 12 tackles for Diablo. Let's see, 2 sacks for Malcolm. I don't want to say that last name because it'll sound like something else. Tillery with a sack. And then nothing else. Weird not seeing Max Crosby get a sack. A nice pick 6 for Jack Jones. It was like a one-handed interception. 9 points for Carlson. Strangely though, 6 punts for Cole. That's weird when you win by so much, but you punt more times than the losing team. I don't understand it. This game by far, one of the best of the whole year. Who would have thought in a game where Nick Mullins and Jake Browning are starting, there's actually it's a good game that goes into overtime and all that nonsense. Nick Mullins, besides his stupidly bad interception at the end of the first half, oh my god, that might have been the worst interception in NFL history. And the failed tush pushes. I'd say he had a pretty decent day. Ty Chandler, no idea who that is. Went nuclear though. He was cooking the Bengals defense from start to finish. Same with Jordan Addison. On that 3rd and 9 touchdown where Mullins was in the middle of getting sacked, he still threw it dang near at the ground. But then Jordan Addison caught it and took it yard. How did that even happen? That was voodoo stuff right there. No fumbles. Bynum and Pace, 9 tackles, a sack for Wanham, 2 for Danielle Hunter, and 1 for Bullard, and an interception for Evans. Did I miss a sack? Oh yeah, 1 for Medalist. Joseph, 6 points. Ryan Wright, 3 punts. Then for the winning Bengals, I ain't gonna lie, it ain't gonna surprise me if Jake Browning is a starter next year for someone. He's playing so good. Rushing wasn't all there, besides a touchdown for Mixon on a 4th and goal. Fighting second effort touchdown run though, pretty nice. Jamar Chase, even though he went out with an injury late in the 4th quarter, he was still the leading guy. And then T. Higgins, though this stat line, catches and yards isn't like the greatest thing ever, those touchdowns were so good, especially the second one. The second one looks like he was a DB trying to jump the route of Viking, except he was the receiver, and he caught it and stretched all that he could for a touchdown. That was some right there, man. Then Chase Brown fumbled, but picked it back up. Pratt in battle, 10 tackles plus each. Half a sack for Pratt, 1 for Murphy, 1.5 for Hendrickson. Mike Hilton and B.J. Hill with interceptions. Yeah, B.J. Hill got that just horrible interception from Mullins. 9 points for McPherson, 4 punts for Robbins. And now to the games that I didn't watch much of. Mitch Trubisky is just trash. Like, how does he keep getting starting jobs? How does he keep stealing roster spots from someone? This rushing was bad. Like, it was just bad. Deontay Johnson was the only, what's the word I'm looking for? He was the only productive part of this offense. Najee Harris lost a fumble, not surprising. Roberts, 9 tackles, a sack for Ogunjobi, 2 for Watt, of course. And then that's all. No interceptions. 1 point for Boswell, only 4 punts for Presley Harvin. And then Gardner Minshew had one of his best games of the year against the Steelers' supposedly good defense. I know it's good, I'm just giving them a hard time. Then Trey Sermon and Tyler Goodson. I know who Trey Sermon is, sort of. No idea who this Goodson guy is. I think Zach Moss broke his arm in the first half. It wasn't good. What am I trying to say? Oh, Pittman, he got blasted in the second quarter or third quarter, something like that. Casey immediately got ejected. I think Pittman definitely got a concussion from that. And DJ Montgomery and Mo Alley-Cox. Also Zach Moss receiving touchdowns. Montgomery and Mo Alley-Cox dropped touchdowns each before their touchdowns. So Minshew could have had 5, but he didn't. Blackman recovered a fumble. EJ Speed with 10 tackles. Half a sack for Buckner. 1.5 for Deo. Half of 1 for Stewart. 1.5 for Ebukam. An interception for Blackman and Cross. Matt Gay with 12 points. He was struggling to make field goals. One of them, completely just went left. Then the other one dinged off the crossbar, and I can still hear it ringing in my ear. And then Sanchez, only 1 punt for the winning Colts. Now, Jesus Christ, man. What happened, Denver? Russell Wilson, yelled at, full-on yelled at by Sean Payton on the sideline for whatever reason. This rushing, one of the worst things ever. Wilson only rushing touchdown on 7 carries for 6 yards. Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, really only productive parts of this offense and the receiving. Russell Wilson lost a fumble. Jewell with 9 tackles, a sack for Cooper, sack for Jones. That's all. No interceptions. Oops. Lutz, 5 points, 5 punts for Dixon. And then the winning team, the Lions, Jared Goff cooked. Both running backs cooked. St. Brown cooked. Laporta, 3 touchdowns on 5 catches. Good God. Then Jahmyr Gibbs got a receiving touchdown. Buggs recovered a fumble. 12 tackles for Alex Anzalone. A sack for Melifonwu. A sack for Paschal. That's all. No interceptions. 6 punts for Michael Badgley. 4 punts for Jack Fox. Alright, y'all know the drill. Every game besides Sunday night's over. So, start with this. Zach Wilson came to play. Wow. Good job, man. Got benched for Trevor Siemian. Don't know how we managed to get 110 passing yards behind that offensive line. What is this rushing game? Again, why? Can you just get a new offensive line, Jets? Your leading receiver was a special teamer. Well, a main special teamer. Fumbles. Both quarterbacks fumbled and lost it. White had 8 tackles, 1 sack for Thomas, half a sack for Williams, 1 for Huff, half for Will McDonald. No picks. No kicking. 5 punts for Morstead. Fantastic. Tua. No Tyreek. Not much of a difference, to be honest with you. I think Mostert has 20 or 21 total touchdowns now on the year, so that's awesome. I don't know why caps lock is on. That's weird. Jalen Waddle had a Tyreek Hill stat line, and then really outside of that, nothing in the receiving game, but still did enough to win. Chubb and Zyler recovered fumbles. Chubb also had 7 tackles and 3 sacks. Half a sack for Riley, half a sack for Van Ginkel and Wilkins, and Ogba, a sack for Zyler. Wow, man. 2 interceptions for Brandon Jones. 12 points for Sanders, 4 punts for Jake Bailey. Just a destruction. Alright. This game was like 2 seconds away from tying. Jesus, man, there's a game-winning field goal right there in the final seconds of overtime. Case Keenum started, and honestly, from the box score besides this pick, it didn't look like he did that bad. Singletary was one of the only reliable people on this offense, and Dameon Pierce with 1 carry. I know he sucks this year, but that just doesn't seem right. I don't know, though. Noah Brown went off. Dalton Schultz had like a really good catch to set up a touchdown. So there they go on that. Keenum fumbled. Sims recovered. 10 plus tackles each for Perryman and King. A sack for King. 2.5 for Grenard. 1.5 for Collins. 1 for Davis. Is that all? Yeah, it looks like it. Nelson with an interception. 13 points for Fairbairn, including the game-winning field goal in overtime. 6 punts for Cameron Johnston. And as for Will Levis, didn't really do much. I mean, just this offense, man. What? 16 carries, 9 yards for Derrick Henry. What is that? Only touchdown of the day went to Will Levis on the ground. I mean, just what? He fumbled too. 13 sacks for Shahir. 2 sacks for Autry. 1 for Edmonds and Davidson. And then a pick 6 for Molden. I guess that's where their other touchdown came from. 4 points for Folk. 8 punts for Zentner. Definitely didn't say that right, but that's okay. Okay. Wow, Baker Mayfield looked freaking incredible against Joe Barry's defense. I mean, Joe Barry's defense sucks, so. Rachaad White, he did both good in the receiving and rushing game. It seems like that's been his thing as of lately. 10 catches for Chris Godwin. David Moore, 52-yard touchdown. God, I miss you, man. Touchdown for Evans, and Rachaad White, and Colt Kieft. Mayfield did lose a fumble. That was probably his only mistake on the day. Logan Hall recovered a fumble. 10 tackles for Winfield. Half a sack for David. 1 for Nelson. Half for Barrett. No interceptions. 10 points for McLaughlin. Only 1 punt for Camarda. That is what you want to see. Jordan Love, he didn't play bad. Packers offense, it wasn't the problem. It was the defense. They couldn't stop a freaking sneeze. Like if they wanted to. I don't know what happened. Aaron Jones, only really good thing about the rushing game. Wicks, no clue who that is, led the guys. And Tucker Kraft and Jaden Reed, both rookies scoring touchdowns. Love lost a fumble. Wicks fumbled, recovered 1. Same with Kingsley and Negbar. No idea. Owens, 12 tackles. 2 sacks for Clark, 1 for Van Ness, 1 for Wyatt, 1 for Kinsley. I mean, just outside of these sacks, like, what happened with this defense? No interceptions. 8 points for Carlson. 2 punts for Whelan. Bucks probably will win that division. We'll see, though. All right. Tommy DeVito. What happened, man? The 1 week I have to pick you up for fantasy and you do this to me. Also getting sacked 7 times. That helps no one. So I'm not putting the full blame on him. His offensive line sucks. He led the team in rushing, too. I don't know what happened with Saquon. Slayton. Slayton. What am I trying to say? Slayton led the guys in receiving. Darren Waller's back. Didn't really do much, though. No touchdowns at all. No fumbles, though. Robinson and Pinnock, 8 tackles, 1 sack for Pinnock. That's all. No interceptions. Gillen and Bullock with 3 points. I don't know why Gillen had to kick field goals. 5 punts for Gillen. For the Saints, Derek Carr, he looked good for once. I don't know why it took him so long to look good, but he looked good. Kamara, I mean, this is just kind of average for him. This is kind of what he does. And he's also probably always going to be the leading receiver. Juwan Johnson, Jimmy Graham, and Kirkwood with touchdowns. Jimmy Graham, 6 catches, 4 touchdowns on the year now or something. It's hard to keep up with what he's been doing. Actually, let's check on it. Wow. Let's see. Season. 4 catches, 3 touchdowns, but it hasn't updated yet. Back to the game, though. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 4 catches, 3 touchdowns, but like I just said, it's not updated yet. Where were we? No fumbles, 10 tackles for Davis, a sack for him, 3 sacks for Tano. I don't even want to attempt that name. 2 sacks for Brise, 1 for Granderson. Jeez, my goodness, man. No interceptions, though. That's surprising. Gruppy, 6 points. Headley, 4 punts. Just an absolute destruction. Alright, here we go. There's nothing to discuss from this game. Nothing. 7-9, really, Falcons? You lost to at the time 1-win Panthers. Oh, but it was raining. Oh, it was raining for the Falcons. It was raining for the Panthers too, and you still lost to this team. On paper, you guys should be so much better than you are, but you're just mid. You guys suck. I mean, what, Bijan, what is this? What? Oh my god, man. 1 catch for him as well. Like, Jesus, man. These fumbles, 2, 3 of them. Man, Bates came to play at least on the defense. Their defense did everything they could, and their offense couldn't do anything. Imagine the defense holding your opponent to 9 points, but you still lost. That's embarrassing. Cool, 2 sacks for these guys. And a sack for Graham. No picks. Koo with 1 point. 5 points for Pinion. I mean, like Bryce Young did nothing. Hubbard was semi-productive. But there's 10 tackles for Luvu. Did no sacks. Woods with an interception. 9 points for Pinero and 5 points for Hecker. Falcons, you guys are the laughingstock of the NFL. I don't care if you're 6-8. You're the laughingstock of this league. Speaking of laughingstock, we'll get to this in a minute. Bears, 17-7 in the 4th quarter, and you lost. How do you keep blowing these leads? Jesus. I mean, didn't do a lot. This rushing game, disgustingly bad. DJ Moore, only really productive part of the receiving game outside of Komet's touchdown, but also Darnell Mooney. How do you drop that, man? Same with you, Tongan. How'd you both drop catches that shouldn't have been dropped? Mooney, it was like right in your hand. Tongan. Jeez, these fumbles as well. 2 for Fields and Taylor, and he lost one but recovered one. Jenkins recovered one. Now, let's get to his defense as well. Their defense was spot on pretty much the whole game. 9 tackles, Edmonds. 2.5 sacks for Sweat, half of 1 for Walker and Edwards and Dexter. That's 4 sacks. 3 interceptions, and one of them was a pick 6 for your defense. Santos with 5 points. Gill with 10 punts. How do you lose this game, Chicago? How do you lose this game? Oh my god, Joe Flacco sucked as well. Cool, 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions, and he was sacked 4 times. How do you lose this game, Bears? This rushing game, 29 yards. I mean, they really couldn't cover these 2 guys, but outside of that, still, how do you lose this game? This is all on the offense, man. The offense scored 10 points. Could have scored 17 if Darnell Mooney knew how to catch a football. 6 points for Emerson Tomlin, JOK. He got a sack. Sack for Wright. Sack for Mitchell. Like, how do you lose while not letting Garrett have a sack as well, or 15 or 10 or 10,000? Bell and JOK with interception. Hopkins 8 points, 9 points for Corey. Bears, your offense is a laughingstock on its own. Speaking of another laughingstock, we'll get to it. Okay. Mahomes, I did watch this game, but I don't know about the first interception, if it was on him or not. But that second one, man. Oh my god. That's bad, man. This rushing sucked. McKinnon threw a touchdown. I didn't know if that counted as a passing touchdown to Rice. I guess it did. I thought it was like a shovel or like a sweep of some sort. I don't even know. Rashee Rice is the only functional part about this Chiefs offense right now. Clyde had a really nice receiving touchdown. McKinnon with a touchdown, but Kadarius Toney, why are you employed in the NFL? You suck. You are the worst receiver in the NFL. Oh my god, Creed Humphrey and Rice, though, fumbled. Mahomes and Rice got fumbles back. 9 tackles for Snead, 1 sack for Noddy and Watson, and Tranquil and Charles Amanwanu. I'm bad with names, y'all know that though. Willie Gay with an interception. 9 points for Butker. He did miss his first kick of the year though, that first field goal. Tommy Townsend with 4 punts. Bailey Zappi, he wasn't doing bad until like just the second half. Like, and he had like 100 passing yards in like the first half and just really didn't do anything the rest of the game. This rushing was trash, besides Kevin Harris having a touchdown. Hunter Henry, as of late, he's been one of the better tight ends in football. Devontae Parker, he was back from a knee injury, I think. It was like Devontae was Zappi's guy for like the first quarter and then just went silent. 2 fumbles for these 2. McDermott recovered 1. 7 tackles for Duggar and Peppers. A sack for Barmore. A sack for Wilson. A sack for Wise. An interception for Mapu and Tavai. 5 points for Ryland. 6 punts for Behringer. Okay, here we go. This game shouldn't have been as close as it kind of looked like. A 16-point win. Yikes. Brock Purdy, though, he had a very good day. I mean, it's against the Cardinals, but still, anyone will do good against the Cardinals defense. It's just a free gimme win. But Brock Purdy played really good. Christian McCaffrey was on one today. Rushing touchdown, 115 rushing yards. He had a wide open receiving touchdown. Like, he fell over, got up, and still ran in. Cardinals, what the hell? Devo with 2 touchdowns as well. No fumbles. Warner and Lenore, 9 tackles. Half a sack for Warner. 1 for Kinlaw, half 1 for Young, 1 for Bosa. 2 interceptions for Ward, and he took one of them to the house. 9 points for Moody, 2 punts for Wisnowski. Kyler, they didn't do that good. This rushing, these 3 were productive. 2 touchdowns for these guys as well, or 1 each, I should say. Trey McBride, same as I said with Hunter Henry. As of late, he is one of the top tight ends you could have on your team. Higgins with the only receiving touchdown, though. Oh, my, 5 fumbles, 4 recoveries. Okay. Looking at box scores when you don't pay attention to certain games, it's like, okay, that is interesting, and that happened. 6 tackles for Thompson, no sacks, I guess. No picks either. 11 points for Prater, 2 points for Gillikin. I mean, outside of the Cardinals scoring 29 points, this is a pretty average game for what it should look like when these two teams are facing each other. Okay, wow. Jacoby Brissett. I didn't know he was in the league still. I guess Howell got benched. Brissett came in and threw 2 touchdowns, and there's a wide open touchdown for Kupp that's right there you could watch. Rushing game useless. McLaurin finally did something for fantasy. And I'm going to show you my team after Monday's game, because I'm not sure if I'm fully secured yet. 2 touchdowns for Samuel. 1 fumble for Cheeseman. 3 recoveries. Holy crap. 10 plus tackles for Martin, Fuller, Barton, and Hudson. A sack for Martin. 2 for Payne. Kind of wish Seattle would have him, but that's okay. Then no interceptions. 2 punts for Sly. 5 punts for Way. Matt Stafford is looking still really good. Same with Kyron Williams. He is a top 10 running back this year, no doubt about it. Cooper Kupp is finally becoming consistent. Like, had that wide open 62-yard touchdown. Robinson got a touchdown. 2 fumbles, though, for Williams, and they were lost. 7 tackles for Ernest Jones and a sack. That's all. John Johnson, the third, with an interception. That's a tongue-twister name to say. John Johnson. 8 points for Havsrick. 3 punts for Evans. Oh my God. Dallas. Wow. I'm speechless. I don't know where to start. CeeDee Lamb, only good person on this offense. Same with Jake Ferguson, but in like the 4th quarter when they're just doing dump-offs and the Bills' defense was just playing prevent defense pretty much. No fumbles. Clark with 11 tackles. 1 sack from Mozzie Smith. There was a lot of flags and fights in this game. A lot of big hits too. 4 points for Aubrey. 5 points for Anger. Speaking of Anger, the Bills took out some anger. Dallas could not stop the run game at all. 49 rushes, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns for this Bills rushing game. Forgot what I was saying. Josh Allen this explains why Josh Allen didn't really have to do much of anything. Diggs, I guess. James Cook with a receiving touchdown. That's two total touchdowns on my bench with like 30 points. That hurts. Ty Johnson fumbled but recovered. Taylor Rapp and Dodson 8 tackles, half a sack for Dodson, half a sack for Rousseau, one for Phillips, one for Floyd. Just a massacre. Benford with an interception. 7 points for Bass and 2 punts for Sam Martin. All right, Sunday night is over. Did not watch like the entire second half of this game because I had to go to bed, so I could go to the gym at 3 in the morning. But from the looks of it, from what I saw at least, Lamar was torching the Jags like all night. It was magic what he was producing on the field. He did throw a bad interception. What was it, Jenkins? The guy that got it read that play like a children's book and got the pick. Lamar on the ground, elite. Keaton Mitchell. That was a disgusting injury. We're just going to skip over that because it was just bad. Isaiah Likely led the team in receiving. He can be a pretty good tight end when he's given the chance to get the ball more. It is weird seeing Zay Flowers with 1 catch. Same with Odell, but they made it work. Mallett and Queen picked up fumbles. Hamilton with 7 tackles, 1 sack for Matabuke, no interceptions. Tucker a perfect 5 for 5, 11 points, 3 punts for Stout. And then for the losing Jaguars, I guess Lawrence is in concussion protocol. I have no idea, but it looked like he did all he could with how good the Ravens defense is. Rushing was bad. Like, why is Lawrence like leading rushing a lot? It seems like Agnew came back from a injury and had a 65-yard touchdown. Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley both got 5 catches each. Lawrence was giving everyone a chance to have the ball. He did lose 2 fumbles though. Lloyd and Wingard, 11 tackles each, and Aluakon with 10. 1 sack for Jenkins, 1 for Walker, 1 for Gotsis. Jenkins with all interception. Yep. McManus could not make a field goal. It was bad. But he did get 1 extra point, and Logan Cook with 3 punts. Philadelphia. What happened? My voice is destroyed beyond belief from that final drive. Like, dear God, man. Those 2 picks you threw, Jalen, to Julian Love, I think he will now claim you as, what's the correct wording? Jeez, I don't even know what to talk about, or what I'm talking about. He's your daddy. There we go. I know the first interception was a push off, boo-hoo, and the second one was like barely close. Once again, boo-hoo. You and Swift, though, you killed us on the ground. Dang tush pushes, man. Brown and Smith, 50-plus yards each on 5 catches. I'll give you that. Those are 2 hell of a ball players right there. And no fumbles, though. That's also good. Moreau, 8 tackles. 1 sack for Cox, 1 for Carter. No interceptions. Ha ha! 5 points for Elliott, 5 punts for Mann. And then Drew Horsecock Lock. Yes, that is his nickname if you don't know. That is his nickname. I'm not trying to sexualize him. That's his nickname. Although it's kind of a sexualized nickname. It's okay, though. Kenneth Walker, second half. He straight up owned you guys. Gosh dang, man. Metcalf on that final drive, and just throughout his whole career owns your poverty team. Jackson Smith-Njigba owns your poverty team. Drew Lock owns your poverty team. The past 16 years, the Seahawks have owned your poverty team. We're, 9-1 against you guys now? You haven't beat us since, 2007 or something? Trash. No fumbles. Wagner, 11 tackles. No sacks, though, but Julian Love, 2 interceptions. Love it. Myers, a perfect 4 for 4, 8 points. 5 punts for Michael Dicko Mode. That's also his nickname given by Seahawk fan pages on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, go look at mine. I'm having a field day right now. It is just amazing. I haven't felt this happy to run a fan page of the Seahawks since, gosh dang, like the first 2 weeks or something of November. The gauntlet is over, though. Next 3 games, the last 3 games, should be very easy. Knock on wood. Let's keep it up, Seahawks. We're getting in the right track here. Alright, and now to look at my fantasy team for the week. Round 1 of the playoffs. Played that Cowboys fan. So, starting team was Joe Flacco, Tommy DeVito, K9, A-Chain, Rice, McLaurin, Freiermuth, Butker, Chiefs defense. It looked like they did phenomenal. They did do phenomenal on my bench. Yeah, that one hurts right there. 34.1 points on the bench. I don't wanna click scores, man. Seahawks win. Cowboys suck. Helped me win fantasy football. I own you, Big D 421. I own you. 2-1 in the 3 games we have played this year. I own you. Thank you, Buffalo, for helping me. I play my uncle next week, though, and he has a lot of 49ers on his team, though, so that's going to come back and bite me in the butt. But this week, I really don't care. Freaking 27-point win right there. I know it's not 27. What is it? 24.8 or something. I don't know. I do not care. I own you, Big D 421. Ray Lewis Bus Tour is moving on to round 2 of the fantasy football playoffs. I'm coming for that championship this year. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn the notification bell on so you'll never miss an upload. I will see you in the next video. Go Hawks!